Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I appreciate the question of my colleague about rural areas and some of those opportunities. So, the gentleman in Texas, if I might follow up a little bit more, in my district, very low unemployment, difficulties finding workers to fill those jobs in a rural area. What do you do in Texas or perhaps in region-wise for the rest of the witnesses when the jobs are not where the veterans are currently?
Yes, sir. We certainly face a challenge there because it may require the veteran to relocate if that's the job that he has been offered and wants, and it is difficult. We try to do everything we can with our leaders as they intermingle and talk and to potential employers at job fairs. We encourage that they seek employees from areas that are rural that may have a spattering of jobs, not the full-blown complement. And we also let the veteran know that if there's anything that we can do to help him relocate, we will do that. And that's why our Fund for Veterans Assistance that we provide, we've provided almost $30 million from about a year and a half, 2 years ago to veterans that need funding, need assistance, relocation, those type of things. So we constantly work and we constantly look at those areas and just attempt to match a veteran in an area with a job that's readily available in some distance from, maybe some distance from his location.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. And a question for Mr. Moran, if I might. Again, what is the unemployment rate for our veterans?
When we talk about veterans in general, the unemployment rate right now is 6.3%, as reported by the Bureau of Labor Statistics.
And are there categories in which it is, that's obviously substantially lower than the nationwide average. Are there categories in which it is higher?
There are. One of the categories that we have a strong eye on is the Gulf War II veterans, as we call it, and that unemployment rate right now is at 10%.
And do you have different strategies for those particular categories of unemployed veterans?
Certainly, it really comes down to getting the word out to all veterans, no matter what category they are in, that we are here to serve them at the American Job Centers and trying to encourage them to come in if they need employment assistance. When they come into that service center for that assistance, we assess their needs, depending on whether they're Gulf War II or they're not. What is their need that will help them get to employment, and then we work with them accordingly. Do we have special programs targeted at those particular groups? Outside of the Gold Card, for example, that provides additional services for a 6 months long-term plan, that's pretty much the only special program we have for the Gulf War II era veterans.
So do you know, can you explain why it is substantially higher than the rest of the veterans? You do have a quick and ready explanation for that?
I do not.
Other witnesses? Any explanation or any strategies to deal with that? Again, we're at 6.3%, which is very good, but then we have a significantly higher in a particular category of post-9/11 veterans.
Yes, sir. Sean DeBay from the Texas Veterans Commission. The translating of military skills into civilian occupation is one of the largest challenges. In Texas, we take a look every year of where are our disabled veterans and our recently separated veterans, or Gulf War Era II. Where are they at? And we strategically locate our veterans employment staff to handle that situation. So what we've done is we try to outreach those recently separated veterans. We're working with the TAP program, identify them, get them to come see us. I think to know that we're here to help them gets oversighted. A lot of veterans don't know we're here, so it's to get the word out, serve as many veterans as we can, keep a high quality, and locate our staff where they're best served. And the unemployment rate for recently separated veterans, along with women veterans, is an issue that we face.
Yeah, I appreciate an answer to that. Follow up a little bit more, just a question. DOD, they don't inform the veterans of your services? What's the connection there when they're separated?
Well, when we provide the TAP services, we're able to make sure that they know where we exist. Starting in January, we will not be facilitating TAP anymore. It'll be going to a private contractor. And I have not been contacted by any of them to offer our assistance, but we're going to continue to work and try to let as many veterans know. I can't answer exactly why they don't know we're here, but what I'm hearing from my LVRs and DVOPs, I have about 170 of them, is that they don't know we're here to help them.
Well, that kind of defeats the purpose. I'd like to find some strategies to actually communicate the efforts here, and some tremendous efforts. So I appreciate it. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
If I could add, I think it's important to add that one of the things that we are working on to address that is that what I testified to a little bit ago, and that's an enhanced outreach strategy, and going from one touch point essentially at the DOL employment workshop during TAP to 4 touch points to try to get everybody to understand earlier in the process what services are available, how to take advantage of those services, et cetera. So we are working on that. We are trying to reach out better than we have in the past. And I would also add that even though we are transitioning to all contract facilitators in the TAP program come January, which is part of the VOW Act requirement, we do, during that course, spend a lot of time on talking about the American Job Centers, what they can do for you, how to register at those American Job Centers, et cetera. So we're working the problem, sir.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Waltz.